There's definitely something going on in this world. As we can see, Donald Trump is planning on taking Greenland, but we already know what this is. This is all done by the secret J's behind the scenes. You know, we can see the flames of a world war that are beginning to bulge, that are beginning to form. And meanwhile, there's guys in our position that never really had a good, amazing life. The world is on the verge of another grand world war, yet people like us been fighting our own world war for years. We've been isolated, we've been devastated, we've been annihilated, and we're sexually frustrated. Yeah, the world around us continues to burn. It continues to yearn for war and yearn for all this evil and bloodshed. What I've learned over my long life is that power only respects power, and that this world only rewards those who are evil, narcissistic, and bastards. This world doesn't reward you if you're a good person, if you're a good man, if you have hopes, dreams, and ambitions, if you want a good girl in your life, if you want to be happy, if you want to be somebody that's not tied down to the system, somebody that's not tied down to oppression and all these evil systems and mechanics that are in place to make you as miserable as possible. You know, I always wondered, truly, why would a loving, caring being create a world like this? It goes to show you that this being is not loving and not caring, and it's the demiurge from narcissism. You can pray to this God all you want. Pray, pray, pray. But you have to understand that this being is not there for you. You have been tricked by Christianity. You have been tricked by religion. It's all a lie. Look at all the things that went on in your life. I was a religious zealot. Look at my life now. You know, I'm still gifted. I'm still talented in certain ways. I can make beats. I can rap and but I haven't had the fire to do that anymore. Like, it's been a while, since a few days since I made a beat or even wrote a rap or anything. I just see the world around us collapsing. And what's the point? You gotta find a job so you can pay bills and be in that cycle. And then you have to worry about a world that can potentially collapse at any moment. There can be nuclear proliferation, an eradication of stabilization, which a lot of us don't even have stability, or even the mental agility to even bypass all this crap because we're dealing with so much emotional negativity. I don't know why this world has to be this way, why we couldn't have a peaceful world. And then you got people who are optimistic about the future, and I don't know why. You know, when you look at the world, you look at the history of it, you can easily see that it's not a good place. There's always war, there's always pain, there's always struggle, there's always things that make you go insane, there's always things that make you look at life and say, why is it like this? You know, last night I was eating on what's that thing called? Them banquets. The TV dinner brand called Banquet. They have like a thing called Mega Bowls, and I was eating their spicy dynamite, penne, uh, meatballs and pasta, whatever it's called. Like, it has like pasta, then it has like meatballs and shit. And I'm the type of person that I read everything on the TV dinner box. So I read all the chemical compositions that they use and that they integrate. I read and it says pork, it says beef, it says this. I'm like, huh. And as I'm sitting there eating the food, I was looking at it. And I'm looking at the food. I'm like, this is a piece of a dead animal I'm eating on. And I'm eating on it because I was hungry. And being hungry made me feel uncomfortable. Hell, it even hurts sometimes. But here I am surviving on pasta, which is fine. But pieces of flesh of an animal that once lived, an animal that once had oxygen, an animal that once had thoughts. Even if the thoughts may be limited, it had thoughts, had emotions, it had expressions. And I have to eat this animal in order to survive. I have to eat a dead animal in order to sustain myself. How is that good? How is that righteous? It doesn't make any sense, man. I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of us, man, we just never been truly happy. Like, I've never had a chance to really do what I really want to do in this world. I never had a chance to really prove myself and stand on my own 2 feet. I never had a chance to really get to the level that I wanted to be at. And honestly, I never had help. I had everybody around me try to sabotage me, whether directly or indirectly. When somebody doesn't like you, or when the world doesn't like you based on your skin color configuration, or just based on different aspects about yourself you can't control, such as your face, such as your height. And when the world dislikes you, it makes it difficult to try to find that mental fortitude to succeed and proceed. It's very difficult in this world to survive and try to live your life to the fullest because a lot of people don't want to see you succeed, you know. And then there's this belief in this world where you have to suffer in order to get something. You know how many people I know who never suffered, and they have the world. I watch Moist Critical Ping Ones, and he showed he made $35 million off of YouTube. $35 million off of YouTube. Wow. And he never had a job, you know, but was able to make millions, tens of millions of dollars in his YouTube career. I'm just like, he didn't have to suffer the things that I've been through, the things that you've been through. And yet he gets rewarded with millions of dollars. So who decides who becomes wealthy and all that? Because you can only make it so far with your regular 9 to 5. You're not going to make $35 million from your 9 to 5. It's just no. Your company's going to make that in a year, or hell, some companies in a month. But you personally, no. So who decides this unfairness about this world? We live in a very unfair world. And if you're a guy in our position that's not handsome, that doesn't have economic stability, that has everybody that's against them, it's very difficult to try and achieve great things when you're just trying to survive. You're just trying to wake up, go to your 9 to 5, pay your bills, and stay out the way. You know? One thing I can't stand about this world is how they try to blame everything on the poor and the proletariat, as if we have the power to change anything. A lot of us don't even have the power to change our own lives because we're trapped at a 9 to 5. And the unfortunate truth is this. You can try to better your life. You can try to do all those things, which is fine. You should do that. But understand that it's like trying to swim against a current, trying to swim upriver. You know those trout, when they got to go back to their spawning grounds and their nesting grounds, they got to swim upriver. They got to climb up mountains and ravines and all that crap. They got to jump out the water. And then the grizzly bear's right there ready to eat them. That's how this life is. There's always some invisible archon ready to eat you and devour you. Look at all the disparity in the world. All the racial tensions, all the economic tensions, the right versus the left. You know, you got black and you got white. You got, blue versus red. You got always an opposite. Why? Why can't everything just form in perfect unison and we come together and try to build a utopia? We have the technological advancement now where everybody should be able to find a woman in their life. Every man over the age of 21 should be able to work a job that pays him enough to buy his first home, a nice 2-story house in the suburbs, have a nice, beautiful wife, impregnate her, get your babies, get your children, go to a school or send them to private school or teach them yourself the things that you want to teach them, right? And have food that's affordable, not these groceries, which is absolutely ridiculous in the price. And I noticed that when you get these groceries nowadays, like the TV dinners, have you noticed that it's like a shrinkflation? Like the food, like I grew up in the 90s where one TV dinner used to fill me up all day. Nowadays, when I eat a TV dinner, I have to like take 2 of them and put them into like a bowl and then eat it that way. I can't just have one TV dinner and it satisfy me, even if it's a Hungry Man TV dinner. So I get the Hungry Man boneless chicken. I gotta like take it out the box, get 2 of them and then put them inside like a big bowl and then cook it that way, because one of them don't fill me up. And it's gotten smaller. And I look on the ingredients get unhealthier, you know, cookies, chips, I'm reading some of these labels and it says bioengineered. I'm like, why is it doing this? So you're affecting our health, you're affecting our mind, you're affecting everything. And you wonder why people are just opting out. People are just realizing that This world is not what it seems. You're surrounded and put in positions that you don't want to be in. I don't want to be in this position that I'm in now. I want to be like Taz Taylor. I want to be like Nick Mara. I want to be like Johnny Giuliano. I want to be like Josh Petruccio. I want to be like Kay Beasley, you know? I want to be like Superstar O. I want to wake up every day, make my music, make my whatever I need to make money from doing my online businesses, smoke my marijuana, and get my money from the internet, you know? It was crazy is my last channel I had was monetized for a bit, but I didn't have my ID, so I couldn't make money off of it at all. And right now, my old channel, it probably would have been at 5,000, 6,000 subscribers now, but I had to start over. And also, I don't want to be named Black Pill Villain anymore. I don't want to be associated with the Black Pill at all. I just got through watching Tragic Reality's video, and he was just saying that, like, look, I'm not associated with any doomer or any Black Pill or none of that, because that crowd that's not a crowd you want to be a part of. These people are just, they're I don't want to be a part of that. So I don't want to be called Black Pill Villain ever again, you know, or BPV or none of that. Just call me Axion Portal. That's it. Because I don't want to be known as that. The people in there, the people in the Black Pill community, a lot of them are racist. A lot of them got something wrong with their minds, A lot of them are just weird people that I do not want to be associated with. I only associate with men who been through similar experiences, that are not racist, that are not bastards, and that wanna that have a certain talent in their life that they want to try to build that around and make money from that, And people that understand me, people that understand what I'm saying. So I have no association with the Black Pill whatsoever. None. So please do not call me hey, Black Pill Villain or BPV. Don't call me that no more. Just call me Axion Portal, because that's what I am. That's the name that I choose. It's just a simple respect thing. Please, thank you. And you got to think, man. Look at the things in your life. Why did all these things happen in your life that you don't want? You never wanted to be lonely without a female. You never wanted to not make it in your dreams and ambitions. I remember one of my favorite movies is 8 Mile. One of my favorite rappers is Eminem. And in 8 Mile, Eminem was rapping, I think, at the ice cream truck, not the ice cream truck, but they were rapping at that food truck. And Eminem called that one guy, you're just a broke ass rapper that never made it. And at the time when I was young, I was like, damn, I don't want to end up like that. Now, that's exactly what I ended up as, the broke rapper who never made it. Not because I'm not talented and not good, because the God of this world didn't want me happy, because if I'm happy, I'm above the frequency of Loosh harvesting. This God wants me depressed, trapped around other people who hate me, so that way he can feed off my Loosh energy. Remember, we're all being farmed for our Loosh. When the human soul experiences negativity and negative emotions, it releases a certain energy pattern, and that energy pattern is eaten by these archons and these invisible entities. It's Loosh harvesting and Loosh farming. This shit is real. But this world today, man, is just, something feels off. Something feels wrong. Something feels like it doesn't belong. I don't feel like I belong in this world. I feel like I alien, like I belong in another dimension. I feel like this world is not for me at all. The way the government and the world powers organize everything, you gotta pay for everything, you gotta go through everything. Why do I have to pay to exist? That's one thing I never understood about life. Why do I have to pay for water, pay for food, pay for housing, pay for this? Why can't everything just be free? Why can't we just be eternal beings and eternal spirits that never need to eat food, that never need to drink water, that can live for eons? Why do we have to have an expiration date? Why? Who made that? Who organized that? Who made it so we live a little bit of time, we live a short time in this world, and that short time we have of existence is all we know. We don't know about any other realm. But in that time, we go through the most hellish experience, while others experience the most heavenly experience. That's not fair to me. It's like it's like some being, whoever created this, wants us to suffer on purpose. You know, point blank, period. And I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm just very sick of it. I'm tired of this evil, sadistic, twisted life. A life that we didn't even ask for. A life that we didn't even ask to be here. But yet we're forced to engage with it. Brutal.